And through your research, you have determined that there was nothing much there even being developed prior to the invasion. But the media, and I'm a long time, many years subscriber to Time magazine, before the invasion, there was a lot of reports on Iraq through the, and I would call it the liberal media, that not only the United States believed this, but other European countries through their own intelligence sources believed there were weapons of mass destruction being developed and stored in Iraq. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just, a pretense, I don't believe, for the United States to take that action.
Are you familiar with the Downing Street memo?
No.
Okay, the Downing Street memo was a memo that was outed in England, and it was between Tony Blair and George W. Bush. And, it's amazing that most Americans don't know about this, but in 2005 it came to the mainstream media's light, or at least the people that were doing the research, that George W. Bush and Tony Blair had these series of discussions, and that George W. Bush had said that they were going to use the pretense of weapons of mass destruction to go into Iraq. And I've been surprised that there hasn't been a number of congressional investigations. What I know is that all of those reports were leaked from the Office of Special Plans. There was a fellow by the name of Douglas Feith that was in charge of the Office of Special Plans. It was an office that was created after 9/11, and they gave them billions of dollars, and what they did was very private, but they created all of this propaganda that was then leaked to the media.
That have gone on for centuries,
right.
Thousands of years. How do you reconcile that? I don't have the answer. I don't think anybody does.
Well, one of the things that what I know about human nature and what I know about learning and education is that unless an individual person, a culture, a nation owns what they want, you can't force it upon them. You can't force democracy upon people. They have to want it with every fiber of their being. And they don't understand democracy because we don't even have a democracy. We have a republic. We don't have direct voting. We have, we have all of these electoral candidates and all this other sort of thing. So promoting a type of, and again, that's, to me, those are soundbite. Those are policies and political stance that don't really have meat behind them. What I know about human nature and people is if you want to change people, you get them hungry for what we want so that they're ready to take up the arms and fight for it. Mm-hmm. You don't go with a shotgun and say, we're delivering democracy to you. And I mean, I don't know how many photos you've actually looked at Iraq, but I've looked at thousands of photos of the total demolition that we've done to these cities and water systems. And I mean, report after report, I don't know how many government reports. I mean, I didn't just create this stuff, and it wasn't in the media. It's in the actual government reports that are 2,000 pages, and you go in and you see that audits that are done, 97% of the water systems in Iraq still are filthy and contaminated, despite the billions of dollars that we've spent on no-bid contracts to these big war-profiting corporations.
Well, I think you're sort of preaching to the choir here. I think we're more in agreement than in disagreement.